Hi, welcome back to my channel. Today I have some wood DIYs for you. I'm using the Dollar Tree Super Glue wood glue to glue these wood pieces together. And I have one of the wee square blocks from Dollar Tree and just glue that in the middle. And I have some half beads and I put them in sizes from big to small in the corners. And I'm just gluing them down with the wood glue. And these square frames I got from Amazon along with the beads, so I will link them down below. They come in a pack of 10 and I used all 10 for this video. So when I glue them down, just make sure you don't put too much glue because you don't want it squidging out the sides, and try and line the beads up in the middle. And I stained it with the Minworks Early American Wood stain. And then I have some scrapbook paper and one of these wee signs from the front of the arch windows that you get from Dollar Tree. So I'm just using a glue stick to stick it to the back of the scrapbook paper, and then I cut it out with some scissors. I found this sun on Cricut Design Space, so I printed it off with some black vinyl and I'm just going to transfer it onto the wee wooden plaque. Well, it looks like wood now because I put the scrapbook paper on it. So I was thinking I need a little bit extra, so I took some hazelnut Waverly chalk paint and I'm just going to brush on a little bit all around the edges. And you don't have to do this step, you could always use a different colour paint if you wanted to, but I could see the white of the paper where I cut it, so I wanted to cover it up, and I think it looks a lot better now that I painted the edges. Also, you don't have to put a sun, you could put whatever picture you like and find on Cricut Design Space, or even stickers from Dollar Tree. So I made 2 of these, I actually made 3 as you'll see later, and there's like, one of them had a lot of glue, you'll see on the left one, so I wanted to cover it up. And this is some of the burlap ribbon from Dollar Tree. You know, you get in the pack of 3, so I'd cut it in half. I actually had used it for another project. It's coming out in another video after this video. And this was what was left of it, so I'm just using it up. And then for the other frame, I didn't have enough of that ribbon, so I'm just using some of the twine hangers that I cut off from some wooden pieces from another DIY in another video which is coming out. So because the twine wasn't long enough to go all the way around, I started it in the middle at the top because that part will be covered, and then I ended it in the middle at the opposite end, and then I started the next piece of twine because I didn't want those parts where they join to be seen, as I know I'm going to get covered up with what I do in the next part. So I made another one, but I put feet on that one, just some of the larger wooden ball half beads. Oh my god. And then I used one of the Our Family Gathers here, and then I just hot glued that and the sun on, and I think they turned out so beautiful. I love them, especially the sun one. But if you didn't want to do all that, you could just stick on the Family Gathers here and it still looks great. And I just made a wee mini tray with this one, and I just filled it with some Spanish moss and some succulents, but you could put a candle in here. It's up to you. But I had to use up the last square, so this is what I did. For the next DIY, I'm using the early American wood stain to stain one of the squares, and then I'm using the plaster Waverly chalk paint. So I already stained the square, and then I cut out this flower on my Cricut, and then I'm just going to transfer it to the square, the wooden square, and use it as a stencil. And then I'm using the plaster chalk paint and a makeup sponge to dab the paint on. And again, you can use any picture or design you want. I did have a sticker for here, but I just can't find it. It's been on my desk for weeks and it's been annoying me. Because it keeps getting in my way and I didn't want to put it away because I knew I was going to use it, and then I go to use it and I can't find it. It's disappeared. I even cleaned my craft room up. Can't find it anywhere. I'm using some of this Scotch Maximum Strength adhesive. If you have another one, you could use that. But that's the one that I have. And some of this metal ribbon from Dollar Tree. And I'm just using a hammer to get it around the corners. And I have to thank my boyfriend for this because he's seen me doing another DIY before this. And he's like, oh, you need to use a hammer. So I thank him for that. It definitely made it a lot easier to work with. So I just hooked it around the top and the bottom. And then now I'm just going to glue it down. I just put a little bit of glue in where the flower part is, just to hold it, and then I'm using these clamps from Dollar Tree just to hold it in place till it dries. If you don't have the clamps, you could just put something heavy on top. So once it's dry, I decided I was going to make a hanger for it. So I stained some beads and just put them on some twine, but then I thought this metal at the back is kind of jaggy, so I thought I would just cover it up with some craft sticks and some hot glue. I did stain the other craft sticks that I'm going to glue on for the hanger, so I'm going to have to go back and stain these ones. I don't have to do that, but I'm going to do it. So I just got rid of any of the hot glue that was seeping out with another piece of craft stick, just to make it look a bit nicer. Now I am going to glue the hanger in place, and decided to put it at the corners because I had to, because the metal ribbon was there. So I just did the same thing. I cleaned off any of the hot glue that seeped out, and then I stuck down the other side. And then, because one side had a knot, I thought about making it on the other side, and then I trimmed off the extra pieces. And this is how it turned out. I think it turned out so cute. I definitely have some more ideas for the metal ribbon, so stay tuned for those. So I have 6 of these wooden frames, and I made a cross in the middle with the half wooden beads, and I did a large one in the middle and then go into the smallest, and then I just glued them all in place with the super glue, wood glue. And you could make a different pattern with the beads if you wanted to, or you could just do something else. But you could still make the wall sconces with the wooden frames, but you could put something else inside of them. So I did that to 4 of them, and then I'm gonna stack 2 on top of the bottom one. Oh no, I'm not. I'm gluing the 2 ones with the beads together. Yeah, that was just me measuring, make sure that they are the same width, because you know, they're like some of these things are a little bit off. And if you wanted to, you could just glue them, the 4 together, and then put like a wooden word or something on the front. That would look nice. So then I just glue it to the bottoms. And then I put something heavy, paint bottles, just to make sure that they dried in place. And then I stained it with the early American wood stain. And this is what they look like. And then I just stained some more beads. And I did a large one going down to a small one. And then I did the small one going to the large one. And then I just hot glued it in place with a craft stick. I'm gonna go back and stain that. And if you wanted to, you could just make a hanger. You don't have to put beads on it. Or you could put the same size bead, whatever you want. And this is how they look if you put some candles on them. The candles do have a light inside, but it didn't show up. You could also put some plants on here if you wanted, and make them into planters. And then I'm going to use them with these puck lights that I got from Amazon, and I'll link them down below. And they just really lit them up so nice. It just doesn't show up on camera, but in person it looks beautiful. But let me know which one of these DIYs is your favourite in the comments down below. Thanks for watching. I'll see you again soon. Bye.